All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Paycheck, or the Daily Paycheck. Jesus. But I'll tell you what, I take the coffee out of the man, and the man becomes a myth. I'll tell you what, I'm not have no coffee today. I've had nothing today. Sorry for my personal life stuff, but I'm actually in the middle here. I'm trying to get the vertical stream to start at the same time, but I'm going to the. I got to get lab work done today, so no coffee today. I've had nothing to eat, nothing to drink, but water. So I might be a little cranky. So I'm just putting it out there. If I'm cranky, then I'm sorry. But here we are. Like I said, getting the vertical stream started. Hope you all had a good time watching me flail around on the Daily Paycheck today, which happens, right? And I think we need to talk a little bit about the recovery plan again. Not even the recovery plan so much, but the play plan on that Dallas drawdown. And it's funny because there's always this angst around people. Let me get this button quick. Angst around when I play these things, like, and like somebody's in the chat saying Dan wants to or JR wants to rename it the Dallas Drain Brown. It is what it is, right? These strategies all boil down to the same thing. And I think when I talk about strategy play later on in the show, the way that you make a strategy, there's only a couple ways to do it. This is just an example of a way that you can make one, right? It's like you're going to come down with your bets, play it from where you land, and Bob's your uncle kind of a thing. That show, I think, should highlight a lot of things to you, right? When you have a negative reaction to something and you go, God, I would never play that. Like, there's some people who, when I was playing the 3-point Molly strategy, for example, I hated it. I hated that strategy. I didn't enjoy it. We won money during the month. It actually had a pretty good little win rate to it, but I really didn't like playing it. It wasn't enjoyable, but other people were like every day in the chats, like, this is great. You're doing great. Stick with the plan. And they're like loving it. Right. This one here is a YOLO, right? You're going out there big. You're taking the one shot. We get it or we don't. And there's a element of me that loves that. Right. I think it's really great. Because you're in and you're out, right? There's a nice bit of being in and out quick. Some of you out in chat hate it, like rooting against it because you hate that way of playing, and I get it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not for you. Watching me play something 20 straight days will get you emotionally connected or disconnected from a strategy. And I think it's important to see that, right? It's important for you to say, that strategy looked really cool when I saw it on Waylon's channel, or the thing I saw in Color Up was great. Let's do that some more. But then you see it 20 days in a row and you go, no, I just can't see myself playing that way, right? So in addition to me winning or losing on that show, I think the educational piece of that thing is like, you're going to learn what you like and what you don't like. And it's funny, I go out there for this morning show with this strategy, and I had this like, pardon me, I had this like initial, like the pucker factor, like, oh my God, this is going to really be hard to do, or like hard to like that first throw is always but I love it. Like after that first throw's out of the way, it's like, okay, that's just like the big relaxation that you get from that. It's like weird, like it's a weird high and a come down in this strategy that I don't get with the other ones. The red cross I like because it's just a freaking winner. I love that part of it. Dan says hit it and get it. That's not for everybody. Hit it and get it is not for everybody. It's like to hit it and get it, you got to be out there big, and it's difficult. Anyway, we'll talk more about that in a minute. Let me switch gears and give you a quick note of what's happening here around the world. So number one, tonight I got Gargoyle with me on Trip Around the Table. Gargoyle, as you know, is working with Ed and Jeff on. They do a rollout every week. They're doing the DI show they're teaching Craig how to throw. He's worked with me a little bit on my throw, which is great. This show is not about that, right? The Trip Around the Table is me throwing dice and just talking to my guest. I'd love it if you have questions for him. He's always open to talk, right? He'll talk about, remember he did the show with us on Gambling Edition. He'll talk about that if you want to. I know that he works in IT, in the hardware side of things. I got some AI questions for him that I want to ask. I think he's going to be a wealth of knowledge on things not related to gambling. So again, let me know your questions. Put a G in front of G colon. Do like this. Do a G colon. Will robots kill us all? Right, that's a question. Kill us all. I want to see questions like this out here in chat. That way, I can collate them up and get them, and I'll get them asked of him tonight. It's gonna be fun. 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern for that. The shooters tournament, I think we got it all nailed. I think we got the for the most part the tech issues are figured out. I think we have 60 plus people that are joining the tournament, which is amazing. It's a lot of people, so. Be a lot of bouncing around YouTube, watching guys shoot. It'll be fun. In the end of it, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see in the end where it all lands. Like how close to the pyramid did we all get? All the great shooters, right? Did we exceed expectations? Did we match expectations? Did we underachieve? It'll be very interesting to watch. And I think again, getting to know 60 people from chats. A lot of them are just chatters, right? From you all getting in it. So it'll be great. I'm looking forward to it. DGen starts his March Madness tournament, I think tonight. Is that right? Tonight at 5 o'clock is the selection show. I think, is that correct? I think that's right. Put it in chat. I think it's what it is. And he's doing a little practice run today too. And then we're going to start another shooters tournament, more global in scope, later in the month. So that's all coming your way soon. Let's get into daily paycheck breakdown here in a minute, and then I'm going to go to my table and talk more about how to play the right side. The only 4 ways you can play the right side. Okay, so here we go. The Dallas Drawdown is up. That number again is wrong. I keep forgetting to update the top number. It's up $2,600. We went 1-1 today. Basically, I went out there, come out 7, lost $1,200. That's our 3rd loss. And again, whenever you see a loss on here, it's going to almost always be first throw, come out 7. It is what it is. You're going to lose 16% of those, right? Over 20 days, I expect to lose 4 times over 20 days. So we've already got 3. We're on day 8. So we're over halfway to our loss limit in terms of number of losses. And we're not halfway through the series yet. Or I guess we're 7-3. We're about halfway through, but we're over the number of losses I should have saw. Whatever. I went out for a second session today and I said, look, we're going to try the recovery plan today. We're going to go out there with the 1800 and see how we do it. And what we did was the second thing, we did a full spread 3 times. So I did the Dallas Drawdown from $1,200 3 times. 2 times earned us back what we lost, roughly within $100 of what we lost. The 3rd time got us our profit. So that means today I ran the Dallas Drawdown from $1,200 4 times. I ran it 4 times today, lost 1, won 3. Now the 3 came from us being behind. So the 3 totaled up to a net win of a daily paycheck, of a goal. But if I look at the strategy itself, that way of playing, working, it worked 3 out of 4 times today, which is nice. I don't love using it like that as the recovery plan. Like it's like the recovery plan, it is what it is, right? You burn $1,200. If you go out there with $1,200 again, you got to do it 3 straight times to win. 3 straight times to win. It's very hard. If you go out there at 640 across, right? Now you got to win 6 times. You got to make 640 draw down 6 times to get back your $1,200 that you've lost. Either of those things is really difficult to do. It's just that's the downside of playing this way. I said this yesterday. When you do any kind of a regression system, yesterday we talked about regressions as a way to play. The downside of a regression is the massive exposure you've got for the short term. The pro to it, of course, is that it's the short term. So we got to figure this out, right? The other thing we can do is make it a real YOLO, right? Instead of going out $1,200 and winning 500, we got $3K in the bank. Go out 2,400 and just roll it. Go out $2,400 and roll it up, right? Either going to win $1,000 or you're not. And you can look at it that way and just say, well, it's a true 1 roll day. And if it works out, it works out. And that way, again, you're winning, 1,500 or so if it works, losing 3,000. I don't know. We need to keep playing with it. So far, it's one of these things where I like playing it because it's exciting. I don't like the massive exposure up front, but you win it enough to make it worthwhile. And in fact, of the 7 wins that we had, 2 or 3 of those, we stayed out there with our last drawdown and won another $500-600. So it's got merit, but I get that it's not for everybody. And we have to really think about the best way to use our bankroll. He's using the bankroll, lower drawdown starting point, many, many, many executions to get profit, or higher in one. I don't know. That's why we do it. That's why we're playing it for 20 straight days, right? Maybe the next time we get burned, we'll do the 640 thing and try it like that. It is, well, it's not really a pick six ticket. It's not quite that bad of odds. It's you're going to lose 1 in 6, right? You're going to lose $1,200 once. You're going to win $500 5 times. That's what's going to happen, right? You're going to be here. The whole thing is exceeding the 1 out of 6. If you can get past 1 out of 6, you'll be okay. All right, let's move ahead. We'll talk. Oh, here's the total numbers, by the way. It's 7-3, 70% win rate. It's one of the top, but it hasn't quite crested yet. We're fighting the 7 way too hard. Actually, 70% is even that is above expectation. We should be at 67%. So it's right where it needs to be, I think. You got to be better than 70%. You got to be at 80% to make this thing work. So far we're okay, but I don't know. One of these days I'm gonna break down the whole thing and say how many times did it work. Again, two of those wins came from losses. 2 of those wins came from recovering. So I'm gonna get the total execution number for us here soon. Anyway, let's jump out of that. Let's go into playing the right side. I've been saying this now for a couple of days. I want to repeat myself. Right side craps is overcomplicated. You see all these strategies out there. And I'm not talking about, like I said yesterday, I'm not talking about the way that like Whalen plays, where it's laddering. I'm not talking about hybrid play. I'm talking about pure right side play. Bet the box, do some hopping, whatever it is. All of these systems that we see, they're all the same. And when I say they're all the same, they're all about getting to some base level, whatever the base level is for you, 64 across, 96 across, whatever your number is to play. And from there, doing some kind of press and collect. That's the entirety of craps, right? It's getting to some base level and then some rhythm collection routine. Whatever you're playing, iron cross, pineapple press, whatever your system of choice is, they're all the same. They all vary from get me to base. From base, I'm going to play a certain way. And that's really it. Whatever you name it, whatever the levels are, wherever you're moving stuff around, they actually fall into a number of pretty obvious categories to me. And the ways to get to base, basic play patterns are some kind of a molly, where you're doing the pass line, come bet, some combination of those things with or without odds. You can play a regression system, which I am doing in Daily Paycheck, which we did yesterday, which is you go out high and you come down to your base level. Where you go out high and you spread out and then come down to your base level. Today, we're going to look at ways to press and regress, which is going to be still a high bet, press up, and then come down to your base level and play. And the fourth way you can play craps is start at your base level and just freaking play, right? There's no other way to get there, right? There's no other way to really go after the table than that. You're going to be at base level at some point, whether you start there, whether you press and regress, whether you regress to it, or whether you're playing base level through a molly. That's it. After you're at base, next week's conversation, we'll talk about how do you press and collect. What is the collection patterns that you can apply? When you build a strategy, it's like, number 1, get me to base. Number 2, how am I going to collect money? That's all of craps. This screen right here is 100% all of everything in craps. That's it from the right side. That's all of right side play. Whether you apply a ladder to it or something else to it, again, that's about the pressing and collecting piece. That's not about the basic play pattern. Basic play patterns are getting to base. Now, once you're there, here's what we did. We did the first day, we did pass line, come, molly systems. We did a 3-point molly with odds. We did up a unit as we won. We did a baccarat line with come ladders. We did come bets to place bets to come bets. All sorts of ways to play that way. You can make the boring way of playing craps fun, and you can also scope it to be your baseline outlay. That's a fine way to play. Yesterday we looked at regressions and spreading, and here's the deal with these, right? They're one hit can't miss things, like I'm doing out here in the garage, right? It's a big old iron cross, right? It's an across bet, big across bet. There might be like lay the 10 for $500, go 440 inside for one hit, bring it all down. There's the Dallas drawdown, which is a multiple tiered drawdown, like I'm doing today. There's a squeeze play from Casino Quest, where you start high on the inside, spread to the outside, then come down. Complex, a lot of moves going on, a lot of money out there on the table. You're pro here. You're only out there for 2 rolls. It takes 1 or 2 hits to get out of it, right? My Dallas drawdown takes two hits. That's it, 2. And you're in not only profit, but you're at a full day's paycheck in 2 hits. Beautiful. The con to this way of playing, massive exposure, right? A third of your bankroll might be out there to cover yourself for the 2 hits, right? Massive exposure. When you lose the massive exposure, which you will, which I have done, very hard to recover back because you have so much to come back from, right? Most times when you regress, you're out there, let's give an example. You're out there for 640, right? You win $140 on any one number. You go out there for 160 across, right? If you lose the 640, you got to win that 140 5 times to get back to right. Or one of those times you get down to the 160 across, you got to win $1,000 to recover yourself, right? It's hard, right? Recovering from massive losses is hard. This way forces you into a place where you have a massive exposure and a really tough recovery road. There are good ways to play on paper. It makes a lot of sense when you see us roll it out here, but in practice, those big, massive losses are really, really hard to recover from. Today, what I want to talk about is a similar way to play, but it's the press to regress. In other words, we're going to bet lower than the person who's going to be a pure regression player. We're going to take a hit or 2 or maybe 3 and press our bets up. So start low, so medium level of exposure, press your bets up. Once you get the hit, we call it the money shot, then you can regress down. The pro to this is that it's less exposure than the huge regressions that we have, right? The con to this is that a lot of time. By time, I mean it can take 2, 3, 4 hits to get yourself out of a hand. So yeah, you're going to have medium level exposure instead of super high exposure, but getting out of the hand takes a lot more work. Okay, let me go ahead and give you an example of what this looks like. We're going to play 3 things today. We're going to do a little bit of tier pressure, my favorite way. We'll do a little bit of pineapple press in the Hawaiian crapshooters, and we'll do skill 66. 3 ways to press and regress. Let's go back to our table here and give you an example of what that looks like. Let me turn the light on. Let's go here. We'll put the light on. Come on there, dude. Not that. Light on. And table view. Wow, my fingers are not working today. There's the table view. All righty, there's that. Now, I'm going to go make one quick change here for the folks that are watching us on the vertical stream. That table view is no bueno for you. So I'm going to go ahead and actually make a quick in-scene change here. We're going to make that, I think I can uncrop it. Hold on one second, crop it out. There we go. Is that better? Reset the crop. There, now the folks that are online, vertical, can see the table too. Awesome. Here we go. Let's look at a build-up system. I'm going to show you 3 of them. One works from the inside only. Okay, we'll do the skill 66 first. Now, this way of play can be done at any level. I'm going to show you the easiest way possible. We'll do it at a low baller level. Okay, our goal here is going to be to get to 44 inside. That's going to be our play. And again, I think when you say this, start by saying my base level for this strategy is going to be 44 inside. Okay, what you're trying to do here is get a couple of inside hits. That's all it's going to be. Again, it's medium size exposure. I want to play at 44. I'm going to go out here at 66. Okay. The other way to look at that is say, what does it take for me to win $44? Okay. So I could go out here at 154. Let me show you what that looks like. If I go out here at 154 across, I'll do it up top. That'll be 35 on the 5 and 9. That'll be 42 on the 6 and 8. Okay, there's $42. This is 154 inside. Any hit in here pays $49. This is a 1 hit and down. Okay, this is the massive regression, right? 154 to win $49. 25, 45, $49 would let you play 44 inside with a little bit of profit. 1 hit and down. 154 at risk though, okay? This way here up front that I've got, the skill 66, has only $66 at risk, okay? More than half the risk of this one, The difference is that you need to get 2 hits in here to get out versus 1 hit here. I'll run them both simultaneously. We're going to focus on the front one though. Okay, here we go. We're going to come out first. We're not going to work the come out. We're going to get a 9 for a point. Point's going to be 6, 3, 9. Now, we need 2 inside hits to make it work. There's a 4. Miss it. Swing and a miss, as they say. No inside hit. Here comes a 9. We got a 9. That's the point. This is a tough one. Okay, the player in the back here, right? He's going to win 49 bucks. He can now feel like he did his job, and he's free and clear. He's playing 44 inside. He got 1 hit, and he got to his base, which is great. His money comes back to his rack. He's super happy and all that. This guy here gets paid $21. Okay, again, this is the press to regress. 21 bucks. He has to add $1 from his rack, $22. Because we're going to go $22 pressure. You can say $22 pressure. You can say press the insides 1. Your dealer says take your 22 bucks, and they're going to jack all the bets up by 1 unit. Now you're at 88 inside. Puck is off. We're going to have to come back out because we had the 9 as the point. New point's going to be a 5. Now you're still not home yet. That's why I said the pro to this is we had half the risk of this guy. The con to this is that he's out and playing right now. He's playing at base. His $44 inside is working. Not here, but he's working. We have to still get it done. We rolled a 9, and a 5. 3 numbers, got paid 1 time. Now we need to make it work. This is where this 2 things, right? The inside play can be very frustrating because there's a 10. We had a 4 and a 10 we didn't get paid on. So this inside press and regress is a tough one. There's a 9. We got it to work. There's a 9. 5, 4, 9. Now watch what happens. That's going to pay $28. When I want to go back down to 44 inside, dealers take half your money back like this. The 5 goes to the 9 halfway. The 6 and 8 gets split in half. You're at 44 inside. Remember, we started out with $66. So there's 25. There's 50, 60, 5. There's our 66 bucks we started with. There is the $1 that we threw in. Okay, so 66, $67. Okay, we are out of the hand. We're playing for free. That is a press to regress. One way of doing a press to regress. You have to wait it out. The con to that, it takes a couple shots to get you there. No money comes back until you hit that money shot there in the second roll. That's one way of doing it. It's only playing the inside. We missed out on a couple opportunities here. Okay, that's way number 1. Let's look at another one. We're gonna go this time out here at 160 across. We're gonna do a little, actually we can do, now we'll do 160. I'll show you where it ends up. We'll do 160 across. Again, this is a little bit higher risk level than maybe some of you are used to seeing, but get those out of the rack and we'll play this out. This is the Hawaiian Crap Shooters version of a press and regress, and it's called the pineapple press. Okay. And again, when you do a press to regress, just like the skill 66, we have the option to pull money back at any point in time. You can stop. Here we go. Let's catch a point. And we got a 6. So what we do here is we're going to press, full press every hit. Whatever happens, we're going to press the 6 and 8 up all the way on the first hit. Then we're going to press up the 5 and 9 all the way. Then we're going to press up the 4 and 10 all the way. And then we're going to come down. So it's a 4-hit system, but you got all the numbers covered except for the horns. Here we go. We can avoid the 7. We're going to be in good shape. Here again, boy, hitting that point sucks. That pays 35 bucks. I'm going to pay it out like this. 35. That's $35. We're going to have to drop $1 from our rack. Make it look like 36. We're going to press the 6 and 8 all the way up to $48. They go all the way as high as they can go. Inside, outside, outside. That was hit 1. New point is 8. Again, we're not working the come outs here, so here we go. And our risk never goes down, right? When you're doing this way of play, your risk never goes down. You're always at the 160 in risk until you're done. The 9 hits, that's 35 bucks. Again, $35. 5 and 9 get pressed up. I'll take the $5 back to the rack. Okay. The five, you can, if you want to, put it on one of them. Doesn't matter. We can make the 9 look like 45. It's okay. So again, we first hit, press both of these. Second hit, press both of those. The next hit would press both of these. It's a 4-hit strategy. There's a 10, 6, 4, 10. That's great. That pays $50. Again, we owe the bank $1 for a vig. Press both the outsides. 4th hit. This is the money shot. The money shot is a 10. In this case, it works out. 10 pays $100. All comes back down. Back to your base. The pineapple press starts at a base and ends at the same base. Back playing here. Goal being 100, 150, 160, and there's the $2 that we had to throw in there. Actually going to give those $2 back to the bank. One was for the vig for the 10, one was for the throwing on the 6. There's our 162 that we started with back in the rack. Okay, we got 160 across that we're playing with, and we've got 25, 55, $57 in locked profit. There's the pineapple press. Okay, 4 hits, and you have your money back, you have profit, and you are playing at your base. You start at your base and you end at your base, which is what I like about this one here. You're saying I'm willing to risk the 160. It's a built-in 1 regression strategy, and then you're off to the races and playing craps. That's the 160 across pineapple press move, okay? I'm gonna show you another one. Turn the puck off. Let's come on back out, and I'll show you another version of a full press to regress. It's a little potentially quicker than the pineapple press, but again, it features the same thing. It is a medium-sized risk. You're gonna start at your base and you're gonna end at your base. I'll do it here at this level because it's easy to bet. This can be done at 64 across too, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna leave the bets out there. Let's come on out, grab a point of 8. Now here, this one is gonna be called tier pressure. And the tier pressure strategy is basically whatever number comes, full press that number. Don't spread it out. It's easy, full press. You tell your full press, full press. You stop doing that when either you have 4 independent numbers get hit, which can happen, or 1 number is a repeater. Okay, here we go. This one here, will hopefully avoid, we got a 7. There it is. We finally got a PSO. Actually, I'm lying to you because I've been throwing dice for a long time here. That's our first 7 of the day. So here's a case where you lose it, right? Let's reset. I'll show it to you when it works. We're down 160 for this strategy though. We got burned. There's another one, 5-2. Do her again. 6-5, yo, it does not matter. There's an 8. All right, we got an 8. Let's see if we can make the tier pressure work to get us to our base play. 10 hard. Okay, we got a 10. 5-5, 10, it pays $50, right? It is a full hammer on the 10, right? Just tell you to do it, full press. 1, 2, 3, ace deuce. We misfire. Swing and a miss, as Dusted One would say. There's another 7. So here again, that's twice in a row, right? Again, is it the strategy's fault or the shooter's fault? Down twice. We're down 320. Where I told you, when you're doing these regression type systems and you don't get it, you don't get it. Here, PSO, no matter what you're doing, you're losing on the PSO. So, all right, 8. We'll do it again. I'll show it to you one more time. Maybe this time it'll be the 1. 11, yo, my goodness gracious. Can I get a number? Make this thing work a little bit here. 5, 4, 1, 5. Sweet, that pays $35. And again, this strategy, full press. Bam, there's 1 hit. Let's survive. There's a 6, 4, 2, 6. That pays $35. Goes to 60, and I'll just put $5 on the hard 6. That's 2 hits. 1 hit here, 2 hits here. Count the hits. If we get a repeat of either of those, we're done. 1, 2, 3. There's 11, yo. Have we hit everything? We hit the 3, the 11. I'm trying to think of what horn numbers we got. Oh, no, another 7. Can you believe this? Right? Another 7. That's another burn. Good Lord. The other two worked the first time I threw them, right? This time we're just catching the bad streak, but I do want you to see the pattern and where it ends you. So we'll try it again. Another yo. A 1, 2, 3, flip them over. My word. Hard 6. Where was that? Where was that a minute ago, right? There's our hard 6. Here we go. 6. We hit the point right away. Yeesh. Talk about not the greatest rhythm. Hard 6. 6 goes to 60. Puck is off. 8. And that's the next point. What a waste, right? We're not working the come out. Boy, what a waste of a roll, huh? Here we go. Stay hot. Oh, no. Hit the point again? Are you kidding me? You got to waste another one. All right, 8, pays 35, goes to 60. Hard 8. Puck is off. That's 2 hits, by the way. 10. Here we go. 8. All right, here it is. That's good. Hit the 8. We'll lose our hard 8, which is fine. 8's going to pay $70. Okay, and now we come down. Once you get either 4 hits or a repeater, you're done for the day. And what happens here is this. You're going to end up with, in our case, 160 still out here with $110 back to your rack. Doesn't quite recover the full spread. You're actually into this hand a little bit. Sometimes when you get a hit too early like this, that'll be the result. It is what it is. If you get 3 hits or 4 hits in, it'll recover itself. And there's a way to kind of get out here. And you can just switch over to 110 inside if you want to and play that. But there's a couple ways to do it. There's a skill 66, inside only, press and come down. There's the full across, press here, press here, press here. On the 4th hit, you're down and you got profit. This one is 2 or 3 or 4 hits, depending on the rhythm that you get. Here we caught the same number twice, early quick. And you're not fully out of the hand, but you're playing for partials. There it is. There's a couple of ways to press and then regress. Let me go back to our screens here and talk through that with you, because I think it's important to get here, not that screen, this screen. The pros and cons of that way of playing. And again, compare that to the bigger regressions, right? The huge regression, we did have 2 PSOs here, right? Those huge regressions would have got aced twice on those PSOs. Hard to recover from that, right? It's a shorter period of time, it's a 1 hit, but the exposure is high. Here, you reduce your exposure down to like a more mid-tier exposure. But as you can see on that second set of runs there, it can take 6, 7 throws to get it done. We got it done, but there was a point of 6, hit the 6. Point of 8, hit the 8. Point of 10, hit the 8. It took like 6 box numbers just to get out of the hand. And we weren't even fully out, right? It can take a lot when you're doing a press to regress. Getting to the money shot is really, really hard to do. So there's cons to all these things. And I think when you're building a right side play strategy, if you're going to be super high, 1 hit and out, you're super high. That's your con. If you're going to be mid-tier, coming up and then coming down, your exposure is less, but that time that it takes to make it work just takes time. And that time, the number of rolls can be the thing that gets you in the end. Tomorrow, we'll look at just going to base. We're just going to go out there at our base level and play it out and not worry about all this regression stuff. We're going to play it a little bit easier. So with all that said, that's the message today. That's it. That's your 3 core ways to play the right side. The core ways, right? The Molly way, the big regression, the press to regress. Tomorrow we look at the base play. You're out. That's it. Everything else that you do from that point on is just how you want to do it. It's how do you get to your base. And I think if we can simplify this game, we can have a much easier and better time. So what do we have? Do we have any questions? Any PCs for me? Any PC questions? Any cues? Let me see. I put that in the wrong spot. Let me put my glasses on here. Let's go. PC. Let's see. Did I watch the Casino Quest show on AI? No. When did they do an AI show? I missed that. I'll have to go check it out. AI is fun. It's getting better. Like GPT for when it first came out wasn't that great. It's much better now. I'm having a good time with it. You can argue with it now. It learns from your. It's really getting better. So I'll have to check that out for sure. Dan says go to 1800, get the hit drop to 1200 to recover. That you can do that. That's laddering it. I don't know if I like that as much, but I could think about it. How many times have I tried the YOLO and won the goal? I've done the full YOLO 3 times, right? On the show, I've gone from 64 across. One time I did 64 across to 100 grand and we did it. I've gone 64 across to 10,000 2 other times. I've got a YOLO stack sitting over there in my right. You can't see it, for my local casino. That's up over $400 now, from 64 across to $400. Every time I go, I YOLO that one roll. So it can work. You're going to lose it 1 out of 6 times. It's just, hopefully you can dodge it enough times before that happens, right? If you lose 1 out of 6 times on rhythm, you're going to have a really tough time making any money. If you lose 1 out of 6 times, but you win 50 in a row before you lose the 60 in a row, that's where you make your money. You got to live in that variant, right? And that's, I think, what we're looking for, is to catch the right variant and stay out of trouble. If you catch the wrong side of that, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Let's see. I know I say it's hard. 2 hits is hard. Only 2 hits is very hard. Only 2 hits. It's if you look at, I've showed you the stats, right? Getting 2 box numbers, it's about a 36% roughly rate, right? So about a third of the time, thereabouts, you're not going to get 2 box hits. That's just the way of the world. The nice thing about the drawdown is that 1 box hit comes roughly, or you don't get 1 box hit about 17% of the time, right? That's your burn rate on 1. With the drawdown, 1 hit gets you back 80% of your money. The first hit plus the drawdown, you're 80% of the way home. If you don't get the second hit, you're not getting destroyed, that's the reason why the drawdown, we haven't seen that much in my morning shows. Get 1 hit and then 7 out. That's not terrible. You're only down a couple $100. You can recover from that very easily. It's the initial one, the 0 box hits ones that get you. Let's see. Same bet doesn't seem, same bet playing kind of is a winning plan. It is. I wouldn't do same bet forever. But starting at a base and getting 2 or 3 same bets in before you start pressing up, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in pulling money off the table, ever. You don't make big money unless you press with the winnings and bring back bigger profits. But early on in the rolls, same betting early is better than pressing early. Pressing late, better than same betting late. There's a time where you catch that. All next week, we're going to look at this, Brian. We're going to look at from base, what's the best way to play from base, and all the different options that you've got. That's going to be a primary focus next week. I'm glad you brought that up. Wayland's going to send me a strategy to try. It's a pass line, 1 hit and out. Love it. The Fab 4. Let's check it. I can't wait to see it, man. Any questions for Gargoyle that came up? Anything new? There was a great one yesterday. G: Jen wants me to ask him about the simulator thing that Dylan brought up. It's weird, right? The Matrix thing, it's weird. And there's actually, Dylan actually sent me, Jen, on that note, Dylan sent me a video of Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about the simulation. It's just like you watch it, you're going, that's 100% what's going on right now. the world can't be this screwed up. It's got to be somebody's pressing buttons to test us out. AZ Crap Shooters will ask us, what is the Halo series? The Halo series. Yes. I have talked to him about that actually privately. We will talk. That's a great question. We'll talk about that tonight. That's good. That's really, really good. Good questions, guys. Thank you for that. Anything else question-wise? Holy Roller asks me this: would you rather use a strategy or a system that gets paid less on every roll or pays more but on less numbers? Yeah, that's a interesting one. I am definitely on the side now, personally, getting paid less but on more numbers. 100%. I have played inside strategies forever. We all have, right? The Skill 66 I like a lot in theory. I have watched that strategy burn. Today was a good example. We hit it, right? We actually made money on it today, right? But I've watched that strategy. You saw today, right? Got the 4, got an inside hit, point, puck comes off, come back out, get a 10. And you're like watching the 4 and 10 get hit around you, and you're sitting there you're getting $21 a hit, but no money on the outsides. I've watched my inside play just get torched by outside numbers that I'm not getting hit on. And I've gone from 66 in to 64 across recently, last probably 6 to 8 months as my go-to starting play. And you'll know by tomorrow, my way of playing, I'm not doing my personal money, regressing down, pressing. I'm just going out. I'm just going 64 across and running it, or 96 across, or whatever the minimum is, and running the table with it. I don't miss the 4 and 10 anymore. I've got a pressing rhythm that I use now that takes advantage of everything that's happening. And I'm much more satisfied by getting paid all the time, littler amounts, than worrying about getting paid more for less hits. I'm a believer in more coverage than less coverage. I know that runs a lot of people the wrong way, but I'm just tired of not winning. I'm tired of not collecting, right? So I would prefer more targets, less money, and on a good roll, it'll build up quick enough. The way that I press, it'll build up quick enough. That's my way. That's my way. Take it for what it is. I don't know if there's any math behind that, but I can tell you this. There's definitely, I don't like watching the 4 and 10 get hit when I'm not on it. And, the few times here recently that I've made a ton of money, once in Vegas, once here, like thousands, it's been because I've had the 4 and 10. Those things just, they catch fire sometimes. And when you're on them, it's what not getting those things to happen sucks. So anyway, there's my answer to you there. All right. I think we're done. To get the show. Let's wrap it up. We'll put it in the books. We'll wrap it up, tighten a little bow, and we will get out of here. I'm going to go to work. Wish my students luck. They have a big, hard day ahead of them, and wish me luck at the doctor later on. I will see y'all mañana. Actually, no, I'll see you tonight. See you tonight with Gargoyle. Trip around the table with Gargoyle. Also, Chris announcing his March Madness thing. So yeah, get out there soon. I'll see you later. All God bless, and bye-bye.